Hello and welcome to all. I request the attention of all the respected faculties and delegates. Kindly allow me a few minutes of yours and let me introduce myself and the faculty members of this session. A very good morning and a warm welcome to one and all. I'm Venkatesh from Clarinet, the designated session assistant for a seamless experience. And Clarinet is India's most trusted and widely used teaching platform with multiple enriching services exclusively for the doctors. Clarinet is very proud to be a digital partner for this insightful webinar organized by the All India Institute of Medical Sciences, Guwahati. And the topic for today is AI applications and implications on public health. Now, without wasting any further minute, let's begin today's session, for which I would like to invite Himashi ma'am. Welcome you, ma'am. So, this is all yours, ma'am. Please proceed.
Thank you, Rituparna. Hello, everyone. The Department of Community and Family Medicine, AIIMS Guwahati, would like to extend a very warm welcome to all our attendees in today's webinar on artificial intelligence, implications and applications in public health. As we all know, artificial intelligence is the buzzword now, specifically in the context of healthcare. From a public health perspective, AI-based applications can benefit health education and promotion with accessible, cost-efficient, and very effective solutions, right from management of chronic illness to tracking and monitoring of health data. With this background, I would first like to invite Dr. Purabhi Phukon, Head of the Department of Community and Family Medicine, AIIMS Guwahati, to give her welcome address. Madam, please. Madam, you are not audible.
Yes. Okay.
Thank you, Dr. Pashi. Good morning to all. It gives me immense pleasure to welcome you all to this webinar, which is I am sharing for the first time after assuming my new role as Professor and HOD of Community Medicine. So it is immense pride for me this occasion. At the foremost, I would like to thank Dr. Ashok Puranik sir for joining us today and for providing us support for conducting this webinar. It is a great privilege and joy to extend my warm welcome to all the participants joining from all over India. A whopping 3,000 health professionals registered in just a few weeks' time, which itself is a testimony to the massive popularity and interest regarding artificial intelligence among healthcare professionals. We have eminent speakers from diverse professional backgrounds who will share with us their experience and insights regarding the development and application of artificial intelligence among health professionals. We also hope to gain new insights from the panel discussions by delving into the exciting world of artificial intelligence-based technology. I also hope that from today's webinar, we will be able to exchange some ideas and will be able to provide a platform for some fruitful discussions and to pave a way to identify the potential use of artificial intelligence in public health. As often we see, whenever something new is introduced, there are always two opposing views. The same way, we see people who are optimistic as well as apprehensive about the use, misuse, and overuse of artificial intelligence. So we cannot undermine the importance of human intelligence, which has the very important aspect of empathy, the compassion, sense of duty, and purpose, which is essential in delivery of services to the sick and the needy. We have already embraced technology into our homes and daily lives in one way or the other. So incorporating artificial intelligence in medicine is only but a natural and inevitable transition that will eventually change the future of medical science forever. With these few words, I would like to leave the audience excited and curious about the possibilities of AI application and implication in public health, which is the theme of today's webinar. Welcome all once again. So I would like to hand over again to our moderator, Dr. Himashri.
Thank you so much, Madam, for setting the tone of today's webinar. I would now like to invite our Executive Director, Sir, of AIIMS Guwahati, Dr. Ashok Puranik, to deliver the keynote address. Sir.
Okay. Good morning, everyone. Am I visible and audible to all?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Should I share my screen? How I share my screen? Anyway, so guys, I'm here to first, I welcome all the participants who are here. I can see more than 517 participants joining online. It's my proud privilege to be addressing to you, and I'm here to provoke you, let me tell you. because I have a vision where tomorrow's public health will be going to the community with a little bag full of AI-enabled devices and the equipments, and you are going to be the most sought after the doctor. This is my futuristic statement, which is turning to be very true, because we have the tools now which are very handy, which are really wearable, which are very small in size and very precise in predicting the disease, collecting the data, analyzing the data, giving you the on-spot diagnosis, whether it is related to the glucose monitoring, whether it is a urine test, pregnancy test, the test for the children development. We have software-enabled gadgets for everything. You name a problem. People have gone much ahead and rather investing a lot of things on their cars and their pets, and there is a lot of devices related to that. Forget about the the medical industry, where the whole AI enabled gadgets and devices are into the market, is gradually coming. There is a wearable bra which detects any changes in the breast and the malignancy. There is a ultrasonic portable devices. There are software which can be incorporated to your iPhone, and it becomes a kind of a microscope for worm infestation detection, for your anemia detection, for any abnormal hematological detection, even the coagulation profile, So what I'm trying to tell you is that this greatest example of, the whole Kodak industry going for a loss for not adopting the technology, Earlier in a marriage, you required for photography, the hiring a chopper and the cameraman and the photograph, and they were hanging from the chopper and taking photograph from all the angles. And today the same job is done by a drone, which is just maybe what few thousand, So the kind of cost reduction it has happened, the technology can replace things in a fraction of seconds, and everything perspective changes a lot, Similarly, I see the whole medical approach and the whole consultation things are going to change in this particular era because of this AI-enabled devices, because of our Internet of Things, because of artificial intelligence getting incorporated into all kind of machines, right from your watches, Fitbits, your in future, you might not be carrying the mobile. You'll be just wearing the mobile on your specs. You can have the the very sensitive hearing implant, So the blind can see, the deaf can hear. This is the power of AI-enabled devices, and you can, the best like imaging analysis is the most application. Like the whole security now is image assessment based technologies. So right from your smart stethoscope to smart watches, smart glasses, smart hearing aids, small, the cloth which you are wearing that can tell you the complete about the weather, humidity, sweats. It can analyze your sweats. So whatever has been imagined is being applied over here. So I believe that the future public health specialists are not going to sit in their room talking about the epidemiology, a little bit of, the disease and non-communicable, communicable, all those things. Now you will be equipped with the bag full of gadgets, and you can go to during your outreach program, when you go to the community doctor, you are the required person in public, in health sector, in health industry. You are going to make a lot of difference. So what we have been practicing certainly needs a relook. What I feel in 10 years time, the community medicine is going to be the #1 sought after specialty. And with the computer aided AI-enabled devices, you will be having a disease prediction through the drones. You can cover the whole inaccessible areas, the flooded areas. You can send medications. People I have seen in the UK, people are trying the jet suits, wearable, the emergency persons going to the very remotest area and reaching, like okay, your ambulance or your plane or helicopter can go to the certain location, but there are an inaccessible location where you need to walk. So people are using even the jet suits like that. So I see the whole medical practice getting changed through the application of AI-enabled devices, and let this initiative come from the public health people, from the community medicine, to take up, buy this instrument, promote this instrument, use this instrument. Let's do maybe initially analysis and research part, or maybe kind of a trial, and you will find that the whole practice of community practice is going to change. That's what I feel, and that's what I have been conveying to my department people, that let's adopt a new technology, and let's buy AI-enabled gadgets and devices, whether it is for the cancer detection, whether it is for the blood dyscrasia, whether it is for the remote monitoring, whether it was for and through the telemedicine, all kind of educations and the public messages, whichever you want to go, say that, spread the message. So we are now born in an era, we are really very lucky to be born in this era where, you know, at the tip of hand, everything is so accessible. Whatever you can imagine, you can deliver, you can calculate, you can plan, you can analyze, and it is going to be a great service to the mankind, and enhanced health and happiness to the whole public. That's my message. I'm thankful that you have taken this initiative of spreading my message to the people. I'm really grateful that you had a patient hearing about this particular thing. Frankly speaking, I'm caught because of my busy schedule. I couldn't really prepare for the real narration of the, you know, this gadget, that gadget, and their specific points like that. At some particular occasion, we'll meet again and we'll discuss this particular thing, that how we can really what are the equipment, list of equipment which you can write from the thermal scan to the eye scanner to the ear audiometry to, you know, to the smart stethoscope, to the, you know, the hearing aids, the portable ultrasound. Now people have made, of course, those portable equipment for hospitals also. So there are so many handheld, right from the Fitbit to the smart watches, the wearable devices, the monitoring devices, the sensors. So I think hundreds of items you will be carrying to the public, and you are going to be the most sought after doctor in the specialty. That's what I feel. I'm grateful that you gave me patient listening, and all the best for you for the success of this particular public cause. I must say this message should go to all the community people all over the world, that the future belongs to the community doctors. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir, for the encouraging words. So as we all know, sir himself is a proponent of AI technologies, and he has been strongly propagating the use of AI tools in community-based settings from the very beginning. So we are lucky and privileged to have you, sir, leading us from the front in this aspect. Thank you so much, sir. So with this, we would like to begin our first talk of today's session. As we all know that AI technology is remarkable, but we must also keep in mind that the results produced by AI are most meaningful when paired with human experience and critical thinking. So with this, we have our first talk of today's session, that is on the flip side of artificial intelligence, by Professor C.M. Singh, Head of the Department of Community and Family Medicine, AIIMS Patna. So, sir is the head of the Department of Community and Family Medicine and also the medical superintendent at AIIMS Patna. He has around 23 years of teaching experience and more than 80 research publications in future disease. He is involved in more than 100 projects as PI and co-PI. So, sir, the stage is yours.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much. Good morning to all of you, Puranik sir and all the participants. Very good morning to all of you. In his talk, Puranik sir already has told many things about the artificial intelligence and benefit of artificial intelligence. And I would like to put some technical detail in that. As we know, artificial intelligence is important, as sir was telling about that. And I will be discussing artificial intelligence. First of all, I am introducing the artificial intelligence, and then what is artificial intelligence, I will be telling about that, and guiding principle for using artificial intelligence in public health, and key consideration for implementing AI in public health, and what are the limitations of artificial intelligence, and ultimately I will be the concluding. As you can see, the AIIMS Bharat Digital Mission is the program launched by our Honorable Prime Minister. The purpose of this project is to creating a digital number to all the for all the citizen of India, and by that we will be collecting the important health related data, epidemiological related data, and all the data required for future analysis and by and making the decisions. So Ayushman Bharat Digital Mission is a well appreciated mission by Government of India, and this is influenced by AI. By AI, we can use this data generated from this mission. Now, let us see what is artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence refers to a software program that can simulate a context-sensitive response or a conversation with a human user in natural language through messaging services, website, or a mobile application. I know it's a very complex definition. Let's see the simpler definition. AI is feature where machine learns to perform tasks rather than simply carrying out computation that are input by human users. Means machine learns to perform the task. This is important in definition of artificial intelligence. Now, AI in public health. The ability of AI models to analyze and interpret large health data sets can be transformative for public health and epidemiology and lay the foundation for precision public health. I will be discussing the precision public health. We know much about the precision medical care services as precision medical care. Precision public health is relatively new topics. In precision public health, what actually we do, we by using the AI, we can analyze the complex data set, and by analyzing the complex data set and by surveillance, we can identify where the outbreaks is going to occur, and by uh, analyzing that, we can plan the the outbreak mitigation measures at right place at right time in right amount. The analysis of large health data from many sources may provide more and better insight on the determinants of disease on both the personalized and population level. This can help accelerate public health surveillance and shape the public health policy and implementation activity. As I told, by analyzing the complex data and by putting the surveillance measure and by using the AI, we can identify the outbreak early and we can mitigate that at timely manner. Now we can discuss about the machine learning. Machine learning, it is a process of applying training data to a learning algorithm. The algorithm generates a set of rules based on identified data patterns. These rules can then be used to classify new data or predict future data. By using different training data, the same learning algorithm could be used to generate different models. I know it's a little complex, particularly for we doctors, but by machine learning, I want to say that by input of different data, machine in machine as such can analyze that, and machine can use different models by using those algorithm and can predict the things and analyze the things. In public health, machine learning help in understanding complex connection between genetics, environment, and diseases. Machine learning basically have two components. Many components are there, but two components are important. That is deep learning. And deep learning is basically, as I told, it is subfield of machine learning that uses algorithm design as network of decision to learn from data. These networks are often called neuronal network. Neuronal network, just like a network in our brain, a network of neuron in our brains, it is similar like that. When there are many layers in the network, they are called deep neural network or deep learning network. More than three layer of networks are there, then we called it deep neural network or deep learning network. Deep learning can identify disease based on imaging and can predict health status from electronic health record. As Puranik sir was telling us, we can analyze the images of basically CT image, MRI image, other X-ray image, and by that by using AI, we can diagnose, we can predict the future outcome. Second component is natural language processing. Natural language processing automates the ability to read, understand, and derive meaning from human language. In public health, natural language processing help in behavior analysis through the social media and consumer generated data. Natural language processing basically has two subfields, that is sub-language understanding, natural language understanding, and natural language generation. Natural language understanding is basically algorithm designed to understand human writing using a coded understanding of grammar, syntax, and semantics. In public health, natural language understanding help in prediction of loneliness in older adult. Suppose in a house, an older adult is there, and if he speaks in low voice or he speaks something by which we can predict that this person is suffering from depression or something problem is there, and by using AI, we can predict it and we can help at the time when needed. A natural language generation algorithm designed to automatically transform structured data into plain language. In public health, natural language generation help in removing identifiers from electronic health record data. Now, cognitive search, it is the use of AI solutions such as machine learning and natural language processes to incorporate and understand the digital content from many different type of sources, such as text, image, video, and machine data. The goal is to improve the relevance of the results generated from user search. For example, AI-based search engine was used to evaluate and analyze information about COVID-19. We have seen that. And AI help in decision making through the modeling and understanding of multiple variables and complex system.
Hello.
Hello. Okay. Now robotics, we all know about robotics. Robotics are playing important role basically in surgery. In medical field, it's playing important role in surgery. And we have seen the role of the role of robot during the COVID also for disinfection of communicated area, contaminated area, delivery of medicines and food, measuring of vital sign and infectious environment like COVID-19.
Sir, just 1 minute.
Okay.
I request everyone to please put their mics in mute mode, except the speaker. Request everyone to please put off their mics in mute mode. Sir, you may please continue, sir. Sorry for the interruption. Because
Okay, thank you. Yeah, thank you. We know about virtual agents like chatbots. Chatbots are being used for written or spoken human speech to simulate a conversation or interaction with a real person. Use of chatbot in public health is a healthy lifestyle or wellness. We can communicate by using chatbot about mental health. We can communicate by reproductive health, weight control, smoking cessation. Means a lot of things can be communicated to the public. Most likely that frequently asked question. What are the frequently asked question about mental health? we can use artificial intelligence, and we can use just like chatbots, we can help the population, public at large. Computer vision, similarly, we can use the computer vision in AI. We are using, in fact, for training the computer to interpret and understand the visual words using digital image from the camera and video and deep learning methods. Machine can accurately identify and classify the objects. In public health, computer vision can be used for medical imaging and predictive modeling, as I told earlier. Speech analytics are there. We all know it is the process of analyzing the live or recorded speech to understand and derive the meaning. In public health, it can be used in analysis of human behavior and states. Guiding principle for using AI in public health. Basically, AI in public health, it should be people-centered and it should be ethically grounded. Basically, when we are discussing about AI, and people are very much concerned about ethical, how ethical it will be. But there are a lot of regulation which will be coming on in due course of time. In US and developed country, a lot of regulation are there to control it and to put it in ethical manner. Transparency should be there. Data protection is one issue. Scientific integrity should be there. It should be reproducible. It should be valid. Information given by AI should be valid, reproducible. It should be open and shareable. It should not be discriminatory, and it should be ultimately it should be human controlled technology. AI should not do anything which is uncontrollable. This is basically concern. Key consideration for implementing AI in public health. The aim of using AI in public health is to maximize the benefit for society without compromising the ethical principle and right of individual. Human right, we all know: dignity, respect of life, freedom, health, self-determination, equity, justice, and privacy. Now, what are the limitations actually concerned on data quality and quantity? It is major concern, particularly in a country like India. The quality of data is major concern. If you are using good quality of data, only then we can expect a good result out of that. And quantity of data is also very important. There are huge quantity of data, but collection of that data and putting it for learning by AI, it is issue. Transparency of AI model is a issue. Evidence of clinical utility, whether those evidences are of clinical utility at our place or not. Regulatory challenges, I discussed. There are challenges of regulatory issues are there and ethical issues are there. Cost is an important issue. When we will be using AI, a lot of gadgets will be needed, and costs of those gadgets and all those things is important. And non-availability of devices and equipment to collect the data, basically at peripheral level. And resistance to change by healthcare worker, it is also a issue in using the AI. Human interaction and empathy, this is very important. We know it's basically it is important to note that while AI can be a valuable tool in public health, it is not a substitute for human experience and judgment. Public health and practitioner and policymaker should work hand in hand with AI system to ensure that they are used ethically and effectively for the benefit of the population. Basically, by this, I conclude. These are my references. Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much, sir, for very nicely highlighting the different uses of artificial intelligence in public health. We have learned about so many new terms like deep learning networks, natural language processing, cognitive search, robotics, chatbots, and speech analytics. These are very useful actually for all of us. And sir has also very nicely highlighted the ethical concepts of use in the use of artificial intelligence. So thank you, sir.
Thank you so much.
So with this, we now move on to the next talk of today's session, and that is on the use of artificial intelligence in research, hands-on tools, which will be delivered by Dr. Shamima Yasmin. who has worked in these AI tools. She is presently working as assistant professor in Calcutta Medical College. She is a state-level trainer of several national programs and presently the joint secretary of IIPSM West Bengal State Chapter. So we welcome you, madam. You may please deliver the presentation. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, organizers. Thank you especially to Dr. Nilanjana Ghosh for inviting me to the session. I'll just share my screen. Is it visible?
Yeah,
Yes.
it is visible.
Not able to. Okay, thank you, everyone. Is it in slideshow or is it just?
It is not in slideshow mode.
Now it is, right?
Yes, now it is.
Okay. So previous speakers have already spoken about the uses of AI, so not wasting much time since I have only 10 minutes. So this is just for setting induction that in 1886, there were around 6,000 maths teachers who came to streets in Washington revolting against the use of calculators. Just not even 40 years back, right? So they had this feeling that these calculators can actually, the quality of students may decrease and students will forget calculating. And these were the issues they had put forward. So down the line, now calculators are part of our everyday tool. We're using it in laptop, we're using it in computer, in our mobile. Even in our +2 days, we remember without scientific calculators, we wouldn't have done those physics problems. So this is a part and parcel. Similarly, now it's about AI. So there are many researchers who might be thinking that AI can decrease the quality of research, or there may be a lot of issues. There may be plagiarism. People will become lazy. Guides may think that their PGTs will become lazy by using AI. But what we should remember is that science will be improving. Science will go on, and we have to accept. And we have to accept the things that are good. We have to use it ethically. And basically, if we use artificial intelligence in a proper ethical manner, it will help us to unleash our capabilities more. So today we are going to discuss, since the time is very less, it's just the overall concept of one app, that is Research Rabbit, that will help us very much for all researchers in the literature review part. So all of us who are doing research, we know how cumbersome this part is, that literature review part. Earlier days, as my sir was saying, Dr. Devashish, that earlier we never had Google or internet. That time, literature review was done by personal contact, unpublished data, published data, research by personal contact. People used to collect information. Then there was then came the era of where journals were printed from hard copy. We used to do literature review. In our times, we were doing it by internet, by Google, by PubMed, these way. But now we have this research engine, this search engine, this Research Rabbit, which will do that. During our thesis days, like 10 years back, the literature review used to take around 2 to 3 months, organizing all the data, keeping it in one place. So it used to take 2 to 3 months, but by this engine, this work can be done within a week or maybe 2 or 3 days. So how to utilize it? We'll just give a brief review how to use this app. This will help us to analyze the research papers and organize in one place. It's a citation-based literature tool. It scans the wave, and the topic you give, it has the brain to give you all the published data in the net which are related to that topic. So this will save a lot of time. So when we do it manually, one by one, what we do, we search. Suppose we're doing a research on domestic violence. We search Google, we get a paper, we download it, we get the PDF, we read it. Again, we go back to the Google site, we download another paper. So there are a lot of tabs that are open, and we have to go on saving manually one by one and keep it ourselves in the folder. So this is time consuming. So this will be done by this app in a very short time. the limiting step, what I feel in this is creating the account. We are too apprehensive. We think about security. We think whether we do or not. So the limiting step, I am telling you, all the researchers, if you just create an account in the this Research Rapid, you'll find it is very easy. There are a lot of tutorials in YouTube. There are a lot of tutorials in the Research Rapid website that will help you use the use this engine. The most important thing, and that is useful for us, is it is free. It is not only free now, they claim to be free forever, because this organization has done this website only for promotion of research. So there are option of donating also. So this engine will remain free according to them forever. So down the line, we'll understand how it is. First, you need to open an account and find the paper of interest, and then the engine will give you a lot of papers related to it, which you can organize and keep to your collection. So let's learn how to use this engine. So first, when you type this researchrabbit.com in the Google, you come to this site where you have to create the account. You need an email ID and a password. You create the account. So this is the first page where you First, it will tell you about the mission, how it is supporting research. If anybody wants, they can also donate. If you skip this, we directly log on. We come to this page. So first time when you're opening this page, on the left-hand side, you will find there are new collection, new category. So there, first time you click on new collection. So you will see a folder comes that's written untitled collection. Obviously, it doesn't know what topic you're going to work. Suppose you want to talk, as I said, you want to work on domestic violence. So you rename that folder and name it, suppose, domestic violence in pregnancy or domestic violence in India, whatever. You have a folder. So once you enter it, it'll come in this page. You'll get another column where you have a folder named domestic violence and where you can go on adding paper. So you click on to add paper. The next window will be add paper you know or love. Suppose you have to, in any AI tool, you talk like as if you're talking to your friend. Even in ChatGPT, you give the entire sentence of what you're wanting. Suppose a specific thing, domestic violence in India or domestic violence in West Bengal. Whatever you want to, the related paper you want to work on, this paper will be your seed paper. So you can type in the title or the DOI or the PMID and you upload it, and the engine will search for you. Once you enter this, the engine will give you, in the first page, there'll be a lot of paper related to that topic. Suppose when I inputted the domestic violence in India, the first paper they gave me is domestic violence and suicides in India. So if I think that is related to my work, I'll add the paper. If I don't think, I'll be scrolling below. There'll be a lot of papers that will be coming. So this is domestic violence, suicide in India. I can add it. There'll be COVID-19 and domestic violence. So similarly, there'll be a lot of paper that you can add on to your collection. You can add one paper or you can add 2 to 3 paper. Related papers will be given by the engine. The first seed paper which you like has to be added by you manually first time. So you can, after adding, you can also remove it. The option is there. Once you've added, then you realize, no, this is not something working. So you can remove that paper also. So I have added 3 paper and it has come into, in my folder, I have seen 3 papers I have added. So it's domestic violence, suicide to India, domestic violence and systemic review. So these 3 papers are my seed paper. So that way you select and add to your folder. Now we come to the third column. You will see the engine has explored the total internet and has found that there are at least 1292 papers which are similar. So you can click on that similar work column and next you will get a web of so many papers that are related to your seed paper. The papers you have selected come as green bubble, that Agarwal 2015, Kaloke 2017. These 3 papers are your seed papers and all the related papers are around it forming a web. Your selected papers are green and the engine suggesting the papers, they come as blue. The size of the bubble is showing the amount of resemblance to the seed paper. The bigger the size of the bubble, the more similar it is to the paper. There are arrows that will give the direction which paper it is important. After you get this selection, you can also change your seed paper. Suppose you find that another paper related to it is more, it's of more concern. You like that paper more. So you can select it and add to your profile, and it will become green and it will show all the related papers to that paper. So similarly, you can add on to your collection in the folder. So once you get this web, from here, you can also sort it out according to your timeline. Suppose you sort it out according to your timeline, it will give you the earlier papers before, old papers later on. So you can sort it according to author, you can sort it according to your timeline. You can also individually click the paper, and you can also download the PDF. It becomes much more easier, and this entire thing will be collected and organized in the folder. So suppose you're doing a literature review where you have 4 paragraphs you have to write, and 4 paragraphs contains 4 different topics. Suppose first paragraph I'll talk about the domestic violence, second paragraph on pregnancy. So I can have 3 to 4 folders, all of them same, like folders will be different for different topics. So this research rabbit, you can see that the advantage here is that one can work on multiple projects and create more than one folders. The reference paper appears in app. We can see the abstract, the author's name, the title. As I said, that they'll come as blue arrow will show how it is related to the papers. And the most important thing is that once you collect these, you can export the entire thing to Zotero. So you have to, there is an option called on the right hand side that says that export to Zotero. So if you have a Zotero account, you can take this entire thing to your Zotero account, and you can use it as the as your referencing citing. You can also, there are options of collaborating with the guides. If the guides have an account, so they can see the collection you have done, and you can also tag it. Just suppose you taken a paper, you can tag it that you need to discuss it next day with your guide or something. So these are the options, some of the advantages we as young researchers can utilize this engine. The main part is that organization and collection of so many papers can be done very, very easily, and it is free of cost. So, I think it is a very good tool which we researchers can use. I think my time is over. Just one more slide, that there are certain other AI apps which can be used. Another app, Perplexity AI, can be used for literature review, for brainstorming research question. You can use ChatGPT. I think most of us are using. It is very user friendly. The thing is, you need to log in, and that part is missing in many of us. We don't have that motivation to do so. So it's just, you just need an email ID and a password. So you can create another, just like me, have created another email ID only for my AI apps, because that can be used for the various AI apps are there. They are very useful, and they'll make life really easy. You have to use it ethically, and it does improve quality. Or there are various AI powered engines like Consisters, Evidence Hunt. These are used by me, and I'm like, they are very nice and they can be used. So please do use them. Thanking you.
Thanks a lot, Dr. Shamima, for wonderfully highlighting the intricacies of Research Rabbit, and also highlighting about the other tools, AI tools. So we thank you. And now we move on to the most interesting part of today's webinar, that is the panel discussion. And for this, I would like to hand over to Dr. Subrajit for introduction of our panelists.
A very warm good morning. I hope I'm audible to everyone.
Yes, you're audible.
Thank you, ma'am. So first of all, I take great pleasure in welcoming our respected panelists today. I take the pleasure of introducing and welcoming all of you. First of all, I would like to welcome Dr. Utpal Bora sir, who is the professor, Department of Biosciences and Bioengineering, Head of Center for Environment, IIT Guwahati. He has the experience of working in diverse fields such as biomedical engineering, biological engineering, biodiversity, and as well as climate change. Next, I would like to warmly welcome Dr. Debashish Das. Head of the Department of Community Medicine, Medical College, Kolkata. He is currently the member secretary of both Institutional Ethics Committee and Scientific Advisory Committee of Medical College, Kolkata. His core areas of interests are biomedical research, research methodology, and healthcare management. And I would just like to add that I personally have been blessed because as a student, I have been lucky enough to attend his classes. He was our guest faculty. Next, I would like to welcome Dr. Orkoprabha Sahu, Deputy Director Medical of Director General Factory Advice Service and Labor Institute. He has worked on integrating AI in occupational health and especially focused on the much overlooked topic of mental health. Then I would like to welcome Dr. Neelaj Kapoor sir, who is not just a senior public health specialist and lawyer, but also a healthcare entrepreneur. He has been a founding member of the health tech company called Ika Care, which seeks to revolutionize patient care by digitizing health records of every Indian patient. And finally, I would like to welcome Dr. Anuj Bhatnagar sir, who is the head public health of Tata Steel Foundation and professor, Department of Community Medicine, Tata Medical College, Manipal. He had previously served in the Indian Armed Forces as public health specialist for 24 years and has the experience of serving in UN peacekeeping mission as public health advisor during the civil war in South Sudan. Among other feathers to his cap is that he has been instrumental in implementation of Project Mansi, which has made sustainable impact on some of the most underserved areas of our nation. Thank you, everyone. It was a pleasure to address this August gathering. I would now request Dr. Venkatesh to take over.
Thank you so much, Shubhajit sir, for introducing the panelists. Thank you, Himashri ma'am, and I also extend my sincere thanks to Professor Dr. C.M. Singh sir and Shamina Yasmin ma'am for setting the ground for today's panel discussion. So without any further ado, I'd like to direct my first question to our panelist, Dr. Utpal Bora sir. Sir, can you please share your expertise regarding application of artificial intelligence in bioscience and bioengineering? And also please share a few words about what all work you have been doing in this domain of AI.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Venkatesh. First of all, let me also thank the organizing committee for inviting me to this very interesting panel discussion. And as the introduction was going on, I could realize actually I am the odd man out here. Having no knowledge of public health, still I will try to speak whatever we are doing. And thank you for this question, which makes things easy for me. The question that you're asking, what are the various applications of AI in biomedical sciences or biological sciences? The answer is, it's very, very huge. Today, there is no any branch of biological sciences, including biomedical sciences, where you do not find applications of AI, which are so diverse, of course, due to lack of time, we cannot discuss over them. But the area which is interesting for me and our laboratory is basically using the power of AI in the analysis of genomic and mitogenomic and metagenomic and transcriptomic sequence data. So one of the things that our lab has been attempting, taking model organisms, for example, we try to predict the structures of microRNAs. And microRNAs actually are some small non-coding RNA molecules, which are separate from the mRNA or tRNA or rRNA, and they play a crucial role in gene regulation. In fact, today, many microRNAs are being found to be associated with different diseases, including cancer. So they are actually very, very important, entities to investigate. So our laboratory basically has been trying to identify pre-microRNAs. So those who have some knowledge of microRNAs will know that basically the pre-microRNAs are the molecules from which the microRNAs are generated inside the cell. But identifying these pre-microRNAs is actually very, very challenging. The reason is because of their small strength, number one. And number two, as I was referring to the other type of RNA molecules which are available inside the cell, the mRNA, tRNA, and rRNA. So there is a lot of challenge because they have many similarities in certain ways. Now, what are the available conventional techniques for identifying microRNAs? They are mostly wet lab, laboratory-based techniques, experimental techniques, and amongst them, comparative genomics has been employed for this purpose. But these kind of conventional techniques have several drawbacks. Some drawbacks are like, they are very cost-intensive, labor-intensive, and they take a long time. So in this scenario, in the recent years, artificial intelligence-based methods have been deployed for their established speed and efficiency. And our laboratory has used machine learning methods to develop certain models specifically tailored for predicting pre-microRNA hairpin loops with insects as model organisms. These models have been seamlessly integrated into an online web application, which will be shortly available in the public domain, which is known as RNA Insecta. These RNA Insecta can identify pre-microRNA hairpin loops and also facilitate the search for target genes regulated by these pre-microRNAs in other model organisms like Drosophila melanogaster. And those who are into medical research know that many of the human disease models has been established in Drosophila melanogaster because we cannot experiment on humans directly in certain cases. So, enriching these kind of models are very, very important even for biomedical research. So other areas where currently our laboratory is busy is using the AI-driven tools for other biological sequence data analysis like mitochondrial DNA, transcriptomics, and metagenomics. So in transcriptomics, basically we look into the gene expression analysis, detection of alternative splicing, and functional annotation. And one important area which is now actually dominating even in the medical sciences is the metagenomics. For example, the human gut metagenome is now gaining very, very importance in almost many kinds of diseases. So in the metagenomic study, we use AI tools for the taxonomic classification, functional annotation, assembly, and biocharacterization. So briefly, this is the type of work we are currently doing. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. It is very interesting to know about the uniqueness of work you are doing, especially about microRNAs and other works in genomics. I especially thank you for giving a crisp answer for such a broad question. Thank you, sir. We'll get back to you with further questions in some time. I would like to request Dr. Debashish Das, sir, to share a few words about how AI-based technology can be applied in public health. Sir, kindly unmute yourself, sir.
Yes, welcome all. Actually, I will specify the application of AI in academics, and that is teaching learning, and also how it will be benefiting the primary care physician or the community medicine physician or family physician. Is it? Come to the first area, that is AI in academics. Basically, we haven't forgot the experience during COVID when students were bound in the home, and the institute have started to give the lecture session, online lecture session. But the limitation of those sessions were didactic, isn't? That is, from the teacher, we percolate the lecture to the students, but it was limited by some hands-on and practical experience, which is part and parcel of every kind of professional academic activities. And AI has great role in this area. That is, they can provide virtual lab, they can give simulation and modeling technique. And also, other than this, they can also assist the student by providing virtual teaching assistance. And also, not only that, they also can refer the students in the diverse area, but is not the domain of the teacher. By this way, they can provide huge range of hands-on and practical area. Now, the second aspect of academics is accessibility. many a times we see that teacher and students are departed, are sitting in a long distance, and sometimes it may be the geographical barrier, it may be the physical or psychological or mental barrier. Now AI can break this, and teacher can put the AI in operation. Now see, in the conventional academics, we give a blanket academics or blanket curriculum to all the students. But AI has a beautiful feature that it can individualize. If we give the input of the student traits, that is students' interest, students' concentration, students' physical and mental condition, then AI can customize the academics, customize the curriculum, and give the offering in a better way. Not only the offering, but we see that part of the teaching learning process, we assess the students. Now, student assessment also can be done by the AI. Previously, we have seen that machine can assess the students by putting MCQ type of question and short answer type of question, but AI has the power to assess the essay type question. And we know that essay type question is the crux of assessing the intelligence of the students in the most intelligent area. Not only that, but also overall managing the teaching learning session by taking the students' attendance, and also by taking the students' attendance, and also noting the students' behavior and customizing our session. That can help a lot. I am not going to the research activity in which the AI can assist. Dr. Samima and also Dr. MK Singh has elaborated in this area. By this way, the AI can create a beautiful continuous learning ecosystem for the teaching learning process and also for the researcher. Now, sir, coming to the next part, that is AI in operation for assisting the primary care physician and the physician of family medicine. See, in the caretaking process, we have 4 facets. That is, firstly, we have to give the appointment to the patient. Then we have to diagnose the condition of the patient. We have to give some intervention, that is some treatment, and we have to monitor. Now, in all the 4 facets, that is starting from the giving appointment to monitoring the patient, I can help a lot. Now, appointment system, we can put chatbot for interacting the patient so that they can moderate and they can modulate their own appointment, and that can help both the provider and also the receiver in a great way. Now, for diagnosis, we have seen Dr. Singh has told that for diagnosis, actually AI has put its foothold through assisting the diagnosis by imaging, isn't it? Radiological imaging, and also different types of imaging, like retinal images. AI has taken inputs, and from these they can give good result, good consistent result. Other than this, if we can have some AI app in which we can give the inputs of the patient history, patient's finding in terms of symptom and sign, and also the laboratory finding, then much consistent, not diagnosis, but specific diagnosis I can give that help the primary care physician to a lot extent, and that will be as part the world's. Now, after diagnosis, the formulation of the treatment. See, while giving treatment till date, the treatment formulation was blanket formulation. That is, for a specific diagnosis, the treatment is the same for all. But AI can customize. AI can customize by taking the inputs of patients, not only the genomic history, but also each and every traits. What we give inputs to the AI, based on that, they can customize that treatment. That is, individualized treatment is very much possible nowadays and in future, definitely. Now, AI have some other feature, that is, they can suggest some drug interaction and also allergy alert they can put. By this way, AI can do a lot for the primary care physician. Now, compliance. Compliance is a great part of the treatment, and compliance actually leads to success or failure of the treatment. Now, some AI app can give the alert when patient is going to miss the dose, even a single dose. Then AI can give the alert to both the physician and also the client. By this way, the whole ecosystem can be improved by AI. Probably in a nutshell, as AI can have the advantage in both the academics and for the primary care physician.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for sharing your knowledge about how AI can be used with special focus on medical education and primary care. Thank you, sir. We'll get back to you in a couple of minutes. In the meantime, I would like to request our next panelist, Dr. Arka Prabhu Sahu, sir, to kindly enlighten us about the application of AI-based technology in occupational health.
Namaskar. Thank you. So good morning to all of you. So I'm truly honored to be the part of this panel discussion here today. And today we explored the incredible potential of the AI and ML-based technologies in the field of occupational health and beyond. And over the next few minutes, I will delve into the exciting way how the AI/ML can revolutionize the occupational health and what are the different recent developments are going on in this field. So first facet is the occupational disease risk prediction. And along with the precision medicine and precision public health, I used to prefer the terminology as precision and personalized public health and occupational health. In the current era of evidence-based medicine and precision medicine, we can use the socio-demographic characteristic, population-based disease parameters, medical history, that can be integrated with different omics-related data, proteomics, genomics, and that can be along with integrated with predictive biomarkers, and occupational disease risk can be quantified. And based on the disease risk scores, primary preventive strategies that precisely be applied to stop the development or halt the progression of occupational diseases for collectively or individually. Then another very important area of application of AI/ML is the automated disease screening by using deep learning and another new terminology, that is transfer learning. So deep learning and transfer learning are the very advanced AI/ML technique that have shown the promise in automating screening of diseases, particularly different occupational diseases. So this technique analyzes different medical images, not only images, that can analyze different sounds like cough sound, chest X-rays, MRI, USG, heart sound, lung sound, histopathological images, and to diagnose and detect the occupational disease like pneumoconiosis, mesothelioma, noise-induced hearing loss. And I'm currently working on one project for classifying ILO radiographs using that deep learning and transfer learning technique. So automated screening efficiency ultimately enhance the efficiency and reduce the human error, and that enables timely intervention and to the affected individual. Then another important facet is a smart occupational health monitoring and health environment and health monitoring system. So environmental sensors, different wearable body sensors, different Internet of Things based infrastructure, cloud computing that aptly complement the AI/ML powered environment and health monitoring task for development of real-time, robust, smart occupational health surveillance system and automate and the early warning system for effective and timely information and proactive intervention. Then another important aspect in occupational health is the ergonomics and fitness assessment by using AI/ML. So using that state-of-the-art image processing techniques, video analytics, motion and posture analytics, using that convolutional network, reinforcement learning and job-related learning, task dynamics, ergonomic different issues, fitness issues automatically assessed, and monitoring of different physical activities, identification of some neurological and musculoskeletal disorders can be done. Then predictive analytics and smart decision support system. So a smart decision support system integrates the AI and data analytics tool to aid healthcare professionals in managing occupational health. Because in occupational health, there often we face some different tricky situation to diagnose or to classify the situation because that are related to different type of compensation purpose. So it uses predictive AI algorithms to analyze patient data, their medical history, their workplace posture exposure, their test-related result, their pre-employment, periodic medical examination checkup data, and ultimately give the help us to diagnose or to take our decision in a smarter way. And often real-time risk assessment, including personalized recommendation for prevention of and treatment, follow-up, fitness-related issues, return to work from other diseases, from previous injuries, and planning to determine the best course of action. And according to that, we can suggest different adjustment in the work environment, PPE uses, lifestyle changes, and reduce the occupational disease risk. Another application is generative AI, very important recent terminology, that is generative AI and natural language processing in occupational health. So generative AI, particularly the GPTs, basically that chat GPTs we are using, it is basically generative pre-trained transformer. One architecture of deep learning technique has the potential to offer innovative solution in the field of occupational health by providing assistance, insight, and automation of various aspects of occupational health management and research. So some few examples, that is personalized health and wellness recommendation system, virtual health, mental health as a support status, AI-powered chatbots and virtual assistants. Even we can automatically screen the workers for their presence of anxiety and depressions. So personalized training and education tool based on their job task and responsibilities, task-specific safety and health preparation of the health manuals by automated way. Then automated incident or accident reporting, generative AI can streamline the incident reporting system automatically. That is sometimes be very much difficult or sometimes cumbersome for the workers to input the data. Then health promotion, then management of the occupational health records can be cumbersome task sometimes. So AI-powered system that can automate the documentation process, ensure accuracy and efficiency, and additionally natural language processing that can exert valuable insight into that record and adding the research in decision making. Then another important aspect in occupational health is the compliance monitoring. Because occupational health, we are bound to follow the some rules and regulations like in Factories Act, Mines Act, building construction, sport-related safety and health regulations. So compliance monitoring is extremely important. So compliance monitoring that people are using PPEs or not, checklist fill up. So then absenteeism monitoring, employees engagement in different activities, employee satisfaction level, because industry 4 and we are transitioning to industry 5.0 that are more personalized and interaction between human and machine. They will not be the separate entity, they will work as together and one each other compliant to each other. So that's why we have to adopt that technology in more and more. So workplace safety inspection, scheduling, and workload optimization, these are the potential applications. Then another is telemedicine and remote monitoring. AI-driven telemedicine platform facilitates remote consultation in occupational health professionals. Because this is particularly valuable because some of the industries are settled in the different remote locations. So workers in remote locations or industries are highly mobility requirements. So these are the just few examples of many potential application of AI and ML tool in occupational health. As the technology continue to evolve, we can expect to see even more innovative solution in upcoming days. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for sensitizing us about new terminologies like precision medicine, generative AI, deep learning, and application of AI in occupational health. And also you touched upon how AI can be used for screening and diagnosis of occupational disease. And even you touched upon something very interesting like monitoring of complaints monitoring and measuring the satisfaction. Thank you so much, sir, for such an interesting and enlightening answer. So we'll get back to you with our next question in a short time, sir. So thank you, sir. So next question is to Dr. Nilesh Kapoor, sir. Sir, can you please share with us what more needs to be done in terms of exploring AI for diagnosing and treating common diseases? Also, please share your experiences about usage of AI in clinics and in day-to-day practice.
So thank you very much. And first of all, I would like to thank the whole AIIMS Guwahati team and organizers for inviting me. And it's indeed a pleasure being here on this fora. So having spent close to a decade in core public health, working with WHO, USAID, Ministry of Health, and then eventually coming into health technology as a health tech entrepreneur, let me first share what we are doing right now. So as a company, we are official partners of Government of India for AIUSHMAN Bharat Digital Mission and CoWIN, and we are the largest generator of ABHA IDs after Government of India. When we started our journey, it was with Arogya Setu. It was my tech team that built Arogya Setu. And from there on, we decided that we want to build health tech for the masses. Although we are a private sector focused company, but our all solutions are available free of cost through Eka Care app, which is freely available on both iOS and Android. And it's available free of cost. It works even in the remote areas. And I would just like to first give you some examples of how we kind of built a tech which we believed would democratize access to technology for the masses. So the first example is that we wanted to kind of increase or augment the reach of AIUSHMAN Bharat Digital Mission. So we built two solutions. One was for the doctors. It was an EMR solution, or to be precisely called as electronic health record system, and a practice management solution. And for the masses or the consumers, we built an Eka Care app for that to store their personal health records and obviously to connect with the doctors to the same platform in a very, very seamless fashion. Now, throughout my journey through public health, I learned one thing, and this lesson was very, very important. Datization cannot happen for the sake of datization. There has to be some value for all the stakeholders. So what is the value for the consumer? A person sitting in, say, a rural area, what is the value for him? So we started looking at all those things and we developed a few solutions. And I will, thanks to all the before panelists who have spoken, they have made my job very easy. So an example of your computer vision or machine learning and computer vision is OCR tech that we developed to digitize health records or your quantitative lab reports. You upload any report on our app from say LAL, SRL, Pathkind, any lab, it has to be a digital quantitative report, sorry, a quantitative report. And we read the report through our computer vision technology and we convert it into a detailed report. And we also generate trend lines. Now think about the application. A person is trying to track his blood sugar levels or his maybe hemoglobin levels. He's an anemic patient. He's trying to track those levels. So you can just upload the reports at different intervals and we generate the trend lines. The same report in the detailed fashion now goes into the EMR or the EHR solution as well to the doctor in a very, very seamless fashion. So now the doctor is also, he doesn't need to punch in the values. The biggest problem in the health system is that doctors, when we practice, when we see patients, we don't have time to punch into the computer. So we need to have assistants, and that's a very, very big bottleneck in terms of productivity. So we developed this tech, which is again an example of AI, which can democratize access to technology. You upload any report, it goes into the system and available to everybody. Second example, we also felt that in India, the masses are not aware about their health conditions. So what can we do about that? So people just say that I'm having fever, I'm having cough and cold. Do I have COVID? How do I know about it? So we developed a Bayesian probabilistic based AI model algorithm. You punch in your symptoms, they will ask questions. The system will ask you questions. Based on the answer that you give, it will change the next question. Based on the next answer, it will change the third question. It will keep on asking you questions until and unless based on your symptoms and your clinical profile, it will be able to give you a risk score or risk probability of do you have a low, medium or high risk of the disease. And we developed this solution in-house. And if you look at the global technologies that were existing at that point of time, it was like Babylon and EDA. Which were available in the Western markets. And we developed it in-house through our own team of doctors and tech team. And you can now check your health conditions for more than 500 different symptoms and more than 100 different health conditions. Another example, in India, the access to smartwatches is very, very limited. It is not limited. It's not available freely. So we developed a mobile camera-based heart rate monitor. Now, again, this is an example of deep learning, machine learning tech, deep learning. This we developed in partnership with Father Muller Medical College, again, Department of Community Medicine, thanks to Dr. Sudhir Prabhu, and we developed it in-house. And now you can check your heart rate using your mobile camera, both on iOS and Android. And anybody can do that. And most probably, any mobile phone launched in last 3 years, post that it is functional. So, and just to share more numbers around that, more than 10,000 to 15,000 people daily come on the app and they check their heart rate. Around 25,000 people daily come on the app and they check their health conditions. They just try to understand what is the probability of the health condition that they're having. Another example of AI that we have built. So we developed this electronic health record system for the doctors. There are more than 18,000 doctors in the private sector who are using our solution. Now, the problem was that doctors, when they practice medicine, they try to write or they do write their notes. And when they write notes, they use short forms. And many times we're not able to understand if it's a drug, it's an advice or whatever he's writing. So we developed a NLP-based, natural language processing-based tech to kind of understand what the doctor is writing. Is it a lab test? Is it a drug? It's an advice? Or is it a symptom? And the accuracy of the tech is more than 90%. And it's again an in-house development of the technology. And hopefully we are compliant to ABDM tech stack. So every information tomorrow, when the data becomes interoperable, we will be able to share all these data points with all the stakeholders. So in short, these were the 4 tech solutions that we have developed. And in terms of what more needs to be done. So I think we are just opening, we just started scratching the surface right now. And we are very, very early in our journey. A lot needs to be done, right from screening to point of care devices to diagnosis. A lot of technological advances are happening. A lot of advances have happened, especially in the field of radiology and dermatology, where computer vision has taken to identify images and the nuances around those in identifying disorders with the help of able clinicians. And I think this journey has just started. We have a long way to go. A lot of NCDs we now see. We are talking about precision medicine, but we are still not there. We are very early in this journey. And I see a lot of possibilities. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. It is very astonishing to know about your journey in the field of public health, especially in digital health, electronic records, the Eka Care app you have mentioned. and mobile app for heart rate monitoring, your contribution to AIIMS Bharat Digital Mission. It's very exciting, and like you have rose the curiosity level of all our participants to explore more about AI. Thank you.
One just last thing, we are among the top 10 medical apps on both iOS and Android. Even today, the ranking is number 3. So
Okay.
thank you.
Thank you, sir. It's very great, sir. Thank you so much for being a panelist, sir. Thank you, sir. So I'd like to request Dr. Anuj Bhatnagar, sir, to participate in the panel discussion now. Sir, we have heard like we have been working in the direction, you have been working in the direction of using AI for quite some time. Kindly share with us about the app which you have developed and how it has helped to improve the public health practice in Jharkhand state, sir.
Yeah, thanks, Venkatesh. At the very outset, I would like to place on record my gratitude and thanks to the organizers for considering Tata Steel Foundation as a participant. Just a brief overview about Tata Steel Foundation's work. We are working. We are possibly the largest organization which is working in remote areas of Jharkhand and Odisha. That remains our Karm Bhumi. We are working with large tribal communities which are very remote, remotely located. We are working with a large number of PVTGs. We are working, primarily in the rural areas. Having said that, we like to think of ourselves as an implementing agency more than a corporate CSR. So we like to implement things ourselves. We have a team of about 1,400 colleagues across various verticals. Of which almost about 400 people are part of the public health vertical. So as far as manpower is concerned, it's the largest. We have a large number of projects which are running across these locations, be it preventable blindness, be it working on the NCDs, vector-borne diseases. One of the largest programs that Venkatesh was mentioning was our program called MANSI. MANSI is an acronym. It's an acronym for Maternal and Newborn Survival Initiative. It's now running in its 12th year. It is the largest program in the country on MCH, where we are covering 3 contiguous districts, reaching a population of more than about 4 million population. We are expanding in 2 more districts, so it's going to make it 5 districts. So some of these districts, we are already covering 3 districts that we are covering are East Singhbhum, West Singhbhum, and Saraikela in Kolhan division. Again, very remote areas. Very challenging areas, hilly terrain, remote communities, underserved population. The infrastructure, medical infrastructure and the public health infrastructure has significant gaps. Another geography we are entering now is Gumla. Again, all these are aspirational districts with significant health gaps. And the 5th district that we are going to now enter, and we are going to have a meeting with the district administration after 2 days, is Kyonjhar in Odisha. Again, a very challenging district as far as public health interventions are concerned. So it's a deliberate decision to go into areas which are very challenging and where possibly very few development partners, dare to venture, so to speak. So having said that, so MANSI is a program where we're working on maternal and newborn health. We started off with one block, which was Saraikela, because we realized as a very responsible business house, we realized that the maternal and the newborn mortality rates were unacceptably high in certain areas. So we started off with a program which way back almost 12 years ago. We partnered with Search of Gadchiroli. Dr. Abhay Bang and Dr. Rani Bang were active partners at that point in time, wherein the home-based newborn care was coming in. So we onboarded that, and that was the time when the concept of ASHA was just creeping in. So we were the first in this geography where we did a lot of hand-holding with the ASHAs. We took this concept into Jharkhand. And we primarily focused on the newborn, on the home-based newborn care. The first phase ran for about 5 years. We realized to our very pleasant surprise that as compared to the other districts where MANSI program was not running, the newborn, the neonatal and the child mortality rates had dropped by as much as 63%. So when we took these findings to the state government, we got the mandate that why don't you look at expanding it? So we expanded from 1 block, we expanded to 14 blocks. Again, we realized the next phase also ran for about 5 years. And the end line survey done independently again showed that we had achieved a decrease of almost about 43 to 48% as far as the child mortality and the neonatal mortality went. With this again, then we expanded it to 38 blocks, presently covering in saturation mode. When I say saturation mode, we have a different connotation to saturation mode. The organization likes to think that we only call it saturation when we are reaching every household, when every newborn and every pregnant woman and every postpartum woman is being reached by a team. That is what we call as saturation. This program is not a standalone program. We work hand in glove with the government. We have 2 long-standing partners. National Health Mission Jharkhand is a very, very active partner, is a signatory to the Memorandum of Understanding. And we also have American India Foundation as one of the collaborators with us. So to support this program, and as we went along through the various stages, we realized that the challenges were changing. Initially, what worked with home-based newborn care gradually, stopped making that much impact. And we realized that the mothers and the children that we were losing in the remote areas were primarily the high-risk babies and the high-risk mothers. And at that point in time, we really had no solution for them. How do we follow them up closely? How do we ensure that they get the home visits that are due to them? How do we ensure that the frontline health workers are actually, going to their houses and doing that home visit, that 1 critical home visit or 2 critical home visits, which are required as follow-ups. So we came up with a solution where we came up with an IT-based model, which we call the Operation Sunshine. Now, Operation Sunshine is and we named it Sunshine because we thought at that point in time that every child should be able to see the next morning's sunrise, hence the name Operation Sunshine. What it does essentially is that it captures the all the high-risk babies and the high-risk mothers in the remotest possible areas through our Mansi Mitra. We have boots on ground, about 300 people who do joint visits with the ASHA workers, with the ANM, with the Anganwadi workers. So they work as a team. There's a lot of hand-holding which goes on, and I'm very happy to report that many a times where Mansi ends and where government begins, or where government ends and where Mansi begins, the borders are very, very blurred. So that is the kind of hand-holding and that is the kind of close coordination that we work in with the government. What this platform essentially does is it captures all the high-risk cases and follows them up in real time. That was the challenge. So just to give you an example, if a home visit is due today and that home visit has not happened, an alarm actually goes off physically in the control room in my office. And that is the kind of follow-up that we have, wherein the details of the ASHA worker, the phone number of the ASHA worker, the details of the beneficiary, mobile number of the beneficiary in case she has one, the family has one, and the details of our own staff are captured in that. So immediately a call goes out from the team, and the missed visit is then carried out in the next 24 hours, definitely. So that is the kind of active follow-up that we are doing with this. This is also one of the nationally awarded programs at Gujarat, where we had presented this a couple of years ago. Now, something that has happened with the government, and that is where I come in with the with the thought process that all our interventions cannot be in isolation. There has to be lateral linkages and vertical and lateral linkages with the government setup, because ultimately it is, and I speak from the CSR or from the corporate point of view, it is neither our mandate nor is desirable that we replace the government. So it comes in very, very important that we have very close liaison and very close linkages with the government. Now, the government of Jharkhand already has a portal, which is called the Saiya portal. The ASHA workers in Jharkhand are called Saiyas, which in the local language means a friend. So they already have something what they call the Saiya portal. So when we discussed with the government of Jharkhand about our Operation Sunshine, what came out was that the Saiya portal captures the numbers, but it does not capture the details of those numbers. This is where the value that Operation Sunshine brings in. So the government and the Tata Steel Foundation are in very advanced talks right now. How do we, we've had a couple of discussions with the Chief Secretary of Health of Jharkhand, where, they've requested us to kind of provide assistance in certain, elements of their own Sahiya portal, where they will have access to Operation Sunshine and they will be able to follow up in real time. Now, just to highlight one of the unintended benefits or unintended impacts that this program had, we all know that ASHA workers are paid an honorarium based on their work. And, they're paid an honorarium, a certain honorarium based on the number of cases that they see and attend and the number of, the number of pregnant women that they refer. We went to the government and we said that, we realized that for an ASHA worker, for a frontline worker, and this comes in with our, very close work in the field with the communities, and, ASHA workers are practically the backbone of all our programs. So when we went to the government, we requested them that, an ASHA worker who's attending to a normal case gets the same honorarium as an ASHA worker who attends to a high-risk case or a complicated case. Now, we all know that, attending to a high-risk case, be it a mother, be it a child, it entails far more skills, it entails far more, commitment, far more time on part of the ASHA worker. So we went to them, we said, why don't you look at it? Why don't you, kind of have a gradation of this honorarium? So the government, and obviously the government came back to us, they said, we have no visibility. Who's attending to a high-risk case and who's not attending to a high-risk case. We have no visibility at the state headquarter level. That is when we fell back on Operation Sunshine and we said, here we have a visibility that which ASHA worker is actually attending to which high-risk case, with what diagnosis and with what outcome. So that is the kind of value addition. And I must confess this was totally an unintended outcome. It was never intended to, result in this kind of a thinking process. So that is also being looked at by the state government very actively now. And possibly if we can have that kind of, advocacy with the state government, possibly we would be the first, in the country to have a graded system of honorarium or remuneration, where a high risk, an ASHA worker who's attended to a high risk patient will possibly be awarded a higher honorarium. So these are some of the thought processes that, we had. So just to highlight about Operation Sunshine and the Mansi program that we are running. Now it's in an expansion mode. Our aim is to take Operation Sunshine at least state-wise. We already have it in large number of districts, but our aim is to at least take it to statewide in Odisha and Jharkhand at least. Again, I would like to highlight, since we have the academia here, we have public of repute here, just a thought process that why are we working in Jharkhand and Odisha, and why is it important for us to work in Jharkhand and Odisha? And it's a very, very, considered call. Besides being our Karam Bhumi, we also realize that the future of the country, as far as the young population goes, lies in these two states. Almost 60 to 65% of the young population today, if we look at state-wise, come from these two states. But unfortunately, what is happening is that these two states are not attracting the kind of capital or the kind of financial capital from either the corporates or from the country or from the the various agencies. So that is why it becomes very, very important if we to have an eye on the future as far as these two states are concerned. And the considered call for Tata Steel Foundation to work in these two states is also that we try and attract some capital into these two states. And to, we've adopted a large number of districts where we partnered with multinationals, we partnered with national organizations, where we are trying to attract capital to build up at least the infrastructure. We have districts in Jharkhand where, we are in the process of setting up the first CT scan ever in the public health domain. I mean, it's unheard of today that a district hospital will not have a CT scan. So this is the kind of challenges that this geography is grappling with. Hence, for Tata Steel Foundation, it remains a considered call to go to the areas which are the most challenging and which are where the gaps exist the most. So with this, I stop my conversation here, and I'll be happy to take on any questions later on in case there are. Thanks.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much, sir, for briefing us about the different initiatives you are working on, especially about Project Mansi and Project Sunshine. It's very interesting, and the magnitude of difference you are making with these kind of initiatives is phenomenal, sir. Thanks a lot for being with us today and sharing your experiences. Now, I'd like to request Dr. Nilanjana Ghosh, ma'am, Assistant Professor at the Department of Community and Family Medicine, AIIMS Guwahati, to please take over the panel discussion.
Thank you so much. And this discussion goes on and on. It's such a new topic, and we really are grateful to each and everyone for sharing with us your expertise and experience. Just small things we needed to know. Already much has been told, and we're running short of time. This should have been a whole day workshop ideally. Sir, may I request Dr. Utpal Bora sir to just let us know in brief about the challenges he faced during implementation of AI in the first place, and how did you overcome them?
Okay, thank you, Dr. Nilanjana. If the question is related to my work, it had certain challenges we faced, particularly as I told in the beginning itself, because microRNAs are having very short length. So that was a challenge in itself. So some of the challenges that we faced in the prediction of microRNAs are actually specific or inherent to microRNAs, and others were, of general in nature, and those kind of problems are faced by almost all researchers in other fields of interest. So if I extend my own experience to other, applications, maybe in medical research, it will be same. I mean, certain, even within the medical research, you have so many different kind of disciplines. So every discipline will have certain challenges which will be inherent to that particular discipline or problem, and others will be of general nature. Because as you are running out of time, let me try to sum up some of the things which the participants will be benefited by. One challenge that we faced, another challenge is, sequence similarity. As I already told, pre-microRNAs are also having certain similarities to other RNA molecules like mRNA, tRNA, rRNA. Why I'm repeating this is because a similar kind of problem may arise in medical sciences. You may have certain overlaps of symptoms in certain diseases. And as I was listening to Dr. Nilesh about the interpretation of doctors' handwriting, what they write, whether it is a medicine or some kind of diagnostic tests. We all know about doctors' handwritings in general. Majority of them are very bad. But that doesn't mean that all doctors' handwritings are bad. There are some doctors who write very beautifully. My handwriting is bad, but that doesn't mean that I am a doctor. So this is the kind of problem AI actually tackles with. And other thing, I was listening to Dr. Anuj Bhatnagar from Tata Steel Foundation. He was telling about those high risk cases and low risk cases, right? So these are some kind of thing we call as patterns. So how do you use AI to really tackle them? So in a similar way, we have other problems like lack of experimental data, particularly in pre-microRNA research. There is shortage of data, especially when it comes to insect pre-microRNA data. So this can be the case in other fields as well. Now, one of the important thing, which is I think can be a take-home message for some of the participants here today, is what we call class imbalance. For example, in my own case, pre-microRNA is actually a small percentage of the entire genomic data. So there are other classes of RNA molecules which are much more dominating. So when we take these imbalance into AI model, it may actually impact the outcome of such work. And there are other challenges which are very, very important. But in an AI modeling, we rely on creating reliable benchmark database because these database will serve as the raw material for the AI model to learn and to predict. So this is very, very important that we have high quality data. Second thing is AI models actually rely on certain features or patterns, as I have already indicated, but extracting these relevant features with respect to a particular case is very, very important. And here you need the domain expertise. So for example, in a problem which is, related to orthopedics, and another problem which will be related to, say, under neurology, what are the important features that you need to, extract would be very, very important. So these are some of the things that I can share. And now there are various methods how you maintain how you balance this, class imbalance. There are already many resources available in the open source. There are certain Python packages. So those who are interested in AI actually can very easily use them for their work. So this is what I want to share at this stage. And if you have other question, I would like to answer.
Thank you, sir. We will definitely like to look forward to a more engrossing and a longer session, and looking forward to collaborate also in related areas. With this, I move on to Dr. Debashish Das, sir. Sir, it will be very kind if we can, Dr. Debashish Das, sir, it will be very kind if we know, like, what are the ethical considerations one should keep in mind while drafting a research project for AI?
Thank you, Bhavna, for inviting me in the session and also for this question. Actually, some basic differences are there when AI is involved in the research and AI not involved in the research. And major part is similar with the other research. Firstly, the first thing I must emphasize that the research involving AI and health must have the researcher from two domains. One is from health side and another is from AI side. And here I must say that the principal investigator must come from the health domain, and the co-investigator will come from the AI expert. But without these two experts, no research involving AI and health should be there. So first considered selection of the researcher, that is one from health and another from AI. Now the second area is regarding regulatory control or regulatory compliance. In every research, we know that when we are going to develop any medical device or diagnostic tools, and if that involve AI, we have to take permission from the CDSCO, that is Central Drug Standard Control Organization. Secondly, if it is a clinical trial, then we must take permission from DCGI, that is Drug Controller General of India. And here also, if the research involves involving AI, have some chemicals also we have taken from this. The third that is all exclusively involved, probably some kind of research which may involve some stem cell research. And if it is stem cell research and AI, then even we have to take permission, invariably we have to take permission from Ethics Committee on Stem Cell Research and Therapy, that is Ethics Committee on SCRT, where the supreme body is from ICMR, that is NEXTPG. So firstly, CDSCO, if it is some instrument or device or diagnostic tool, if it is some drug molecule, then it is DCGI, and if it is stem cell research, then from NEXTPG or Stem Cell Research Therapy Ethics Committee. And then if the research involves some telemedicine aspects, then also we have to have in our mind the telemedicine regulation of Government of India. We do not have to take permission, but we have to comply with that. And the fourth area is if I want to have some registration under Intellectual Property Act, then that thing also we have to in mind. And this is the regulatory approval aspects. Now, actually, while we are going to prepare our synopsis or protocol, we generally how we prepare it in the similar fashion we will prepare it. But the special emphasis should come in the methodology section. That is, after preparing the title, after preparing the objective aligned with the title, and the methodology should be aligned with the title and also the objective. Now, in all the three sections, that is in title, in objective, and in methodology, it should be very much clear that is AI is involved in the research, isn't? The core issue should be health, and in that core issue, AI is involved. That should be evident from the title itself, and definitely objective will clarify it, and also methodology should be aligned. Now, in the methodology section, where AI is involved or AI in health research, it is, then in the methodology section, it must be very much clear that where AI is involved, what is the technique, what may be the algorithm we will develop, and so on, whether it is IoT, that is Internet of Things, everything should be clarified, and this portion will be built by the technical expert, that is domain from AI. Now will come the ethical consideration aspects. Now we know that each and every good research should have one section which is concerned with ethical aspects. Actually, Dr. Singh has told all the ethical aspects relating to AI, and that should come under our preparation in the section ethical consideration. That is, good confidentiality should be there. Now, informed consent. In this section, while we have two parts, that is informing the participants and also the taking the consent. Now, while informing the participants should be given the elaborate description of the AI and which part of the research involve AI, what may be benefit of AI, what may be the risks of AI, and everything relating to AI, and also the health aspect should be deliberately disclosed. Now, finally, the dissemination plan and also the publication policy should also tell vividly during the preparation of the research protocol. Now we come to the tail end of the chain. While doing any kind of research, we usually have to make one CTA, that is clinical trial agreement. This is one tripartite agreement where which is made between the researcher, that is PI, now the funder or the resource agency, and the site, that is the institution. So during this, it should be reflected that AI is involved in research. There is some sort of gain the funder may have, and that should be clearly described, and based on these, the institution can impose some higher fees or higher claim. And finally, I must say that each and every kind of research should follow the global standard, and for this reason, we must comply with the good clinical practice guideline of the globe. So these are the principal aspects in preparing the research protocol. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir, for this excellent elaboration. We will definitely moving on to this, Dr. Tools or app relating to occupational health. Am I audible? Am I audible?
Actually, Dr. Nilanjana, you can repeat the question again in between the network went off. Yeah.
Okay, Dr. Orko Prabhu, I will be asking you, like, how do you propose a young researcher to work with AI tools in occupational health? Is there any app which can be developed, or like, is there any platform where we can, connect for developing such apps?
Okay, thank you, madam. So working as a young researcher in the field of occupational health and wanting to utilize that AI tool is definitely it is a exciting job. And there are some steps we usually follow or recommend to assist the young researcher in starting with that use of application AI tools in occupational health and even public health, even in research and in development project. So first is understanding of the basic of that particular domain. Domain expertise is extremely important, because without the domain expertise, will not be able to understand the basic understanding or the inner meaning of that thing. Then fundamentals of AI or artificial intelligence and machine learning. So a researcher, because artificial intelligence, machine learning in healthcare is interdisciplinary, definitely. So acquiring basic understanding of artificial intelligence and machine learning concept. So familiarization of the statistics, statistical concept, and machine learning concept, deep learning. So there are different platforms. These are freely available. One such is MIT, yes, Massachusetts Institute of Technology, open courseware are there. And from the government of India, there is a SWAYAM and NPTEL portal. So they are free of cost. Machine learning, these data analytics tools are data analytics courses are available. We can go through that, and then choose to the very specific focus on some specific topic. Like in case of occupational or public health, usually I used to work in that domain in the radiographs, brain MRI imaging, and then clustering of different data, and then class imbalance. That is telling about class imbalance. So there are different tools and techniques, smooth technique, and then very important right now you use these are the GAN approach, GN approach for class imbalance, or to generate artificial data. Like in case of bioradiography, we have only 22 standard plates. So we have to generate or multiply that. We can use that thing by using GAN approach, and choose select the development platform and language to understand or to learn the AI tool, and what kind of hardware we require. That is extremely important. So right now, Python is the most widely used programming language for AI and machine learning, and that researchers should become proficient in the Python. And it is the language of choice for most AI tools and language and libraries. Even if you, I think most of you know that even the ChatGPT's backend is Python. So alternate, you can think R, MATLAB. I used to work in both the three languages, R, Python, and MATLAB. These are good alternative. So libraries, different libraries like TensorFlow, PyTorch, Keras, Scikit-learn. These are very common libraries to develop AI tools and AI models. So familiarity with these libraries and their inner structure, because these are all open source. We can read their documentation. And then researchers should leverage the AI tools and libraries built on predictive models like data analysis, generative insights, and that hardware component. What type of hardware is required to learn or to understand or to even develop a very basic level of model in AI. So one important aspect is the use of CPU-based or GPU-based computers, because even I once of my project it took almost 24 to 40 hours to train one model. And but right now, these are different cloud computing based GPU tools are available: Google Colabs, Jupyter Notebooks, GitHub, Python tools. And right now, I want to share one important information, that is, we some of us definitely heard about the quantum computing. So IBM has developed one computing based cloud platform. We can use there. It is till now free of cost. We can use the power of quantum computing for analytic purpose. Yes, there are some limitations, but yes, we can use it. Then AI frameworks, platform like Google Cloud AI platform, Microsoft Azure Machine Learning, Amazon SageMaker, IBM Watson, H2O AI, Data Robots. So these are different platforms, or we can call it as an app in one sense. But these are all web-based platforms to automate our machine learning process from development of data acquisition, from development of models, and up to deployment. Because some of my work is related to from data collection to deployment of the model in the web server. So these are different platforms. We can automate our task. Then explore different data sets, why we can get different standards. Sarah is already telling about different benchmark data sets, where we can get the different benchmark data sets. So there are different repositories like Kaggle is there, UCI machine learning repositories are there. So different data sets, different benchmark data sets are available. Apart from that, there are different specific domain-specific benchmark data sets, like in case of neurology, Allen Lab, they have their data sets. So they are very specific and high-quality data sets are also available. Using the data sets, we can start our journey in case of AI and machine learning with health domain. So then usually we should start with the simple project to understand the fundamentals, then collaborate with experts and interdisciplinary collaboration. This is already telling that yes, in case of health-related topics, primary principal researchers should be from the health domain, and definitely from the artificial intelligence domain, the computer scientist domain. They should assist in that field. And then open source collaboration. We should try to project our works to open source and GitHub through GitHub. And ethical consideration, definitely. So there are different regulations. Very recently, in August 2023, the Digital Personal Data Protection Act is published by the Government of India. And in case of USA, there are HIPPA, Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act. In GDPR, in case of European Union, General Data Protection Regulations are there. Try to seek funding and mentorship to progress in that field. Publish and share your findings with your peer review group. And then try to build simple app and web tools so that you can utilize, you can tick with that, and you can try to explore different other things. So remember, AI in public health and occupational health is a multidisciplinary field, and our ability to bridge the gap between AI and occupational health knowledge and public health knowledge make it is a sustainable and impactful on the workers and the entire general population and public health and their well-being. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Arko. That was really informative, and we look forward to collaborate with you in days ahead. Now, moving on to Nilesh sir. Sir, we have this question of regarding your experiences and working in your domain and basically the challenges faced and how to overcome. Like, since we said that this can be utilized, but then how can we, actually work on this area?
So thank you, Dr. Nilanjana. Again, thanks for having me here. So see, in our experience,
sir, just interrupting, I will be really thankful to Dr. Rashmi Agarwala, who helped us in connecting with you. Thank you so much to her also.
Thank you. So coming to our experience, see, we are a private sector company. We are a for-profit entity. So we face very different kind of challenges. But the challenges that we face, I think they are common across the board, and my fellow panelists have also mentioned about that. So let me start from very basic thing first. To train an AI engine or to train a computer, you need a structured data set, which is well annotated, structured, well tagged by a clinician or maybe a doctor, and in a usable form or a schema, which we can use to train a computer. There is a big myth in this country that we have a lot of data. Sadly, that's not the case. So the biggest challenge is the paucity of data, which is well structured, well annotated, and which is usable for AI training. Because if we don't have good data, that AI that we train will not give the desired output. And all data that is freely available right now is all Western data. And sadly, I don't want to upset anybody, but in India, we don't have public libraries. Despite we have so many academic institutions, we don't have public libraries of clinical data. That is good quality data. That is the biggest challenge. Now coming to the interlinkages, because this AI development is a very, very resource intensive project. So generally we need a lot of financial resources for that. I don't see that is happening anywhere in India right now, where dedicated resources or financial muscle is being used to invest a lot of money in developing AI for health tech right now. Every company which invests, they have their own limitations. So finance is the second biggest challenge. And I think because even in India, research funding is also very scarce. The priorities are different. We still spend a lot of money in our infectious disease research and basic epidemiology research rather than going for high-tech tech solutions research at the academic level. I'm not talking about IITs and the big companies, but at the basic level, we don't have that financial muscle. And third thing, which can really solve this thing and which we adopted was that is industry academia partnership. We need a lot more than what is happening right now. If you look at the tech landscape, a lot of IITs, a lot of engineering colleges, they already have well established industry academia partnerships. But sadly, our medical colleges have always been kind of habitual in working in silos, mostly focused on patient care, patient journeys. And now the things are changing. The tech is kind of at our door. We need to learn more about tech. We need to develop courses for our students who are just hearing right now, but they need to understand the nuances of how to interact with even techies. So see, techies don't understand our language. We don't understand their language. How can we bridge that? What is that interface that will work? We as doctors we are not trained into systems thinking. We are not trained into defining tech requirements for the programs. Even I learned all those things when it became a job requirement. I was at Ministry of Health and I had to develop a software for family planning, logistic information management system. And I was there defining all the system requirements. And it was some very basic requirements like you want to enter age of a patient, and you need to block alphanumeric thing. You just need to enter digits. So these are very, very basic things where techies do errors. And unless and until we are adequately exposed to health technology, to health curriculum, and eventually industry academia partnerships is the way forward, is what I think. And I'm very thankful to Father Muller Medical College, where we were able to collaborate for development of heart rate technology. And I think that's the way we should adopt it. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. And this can go on. I really wanted to hear more, but maybe we look forward to talking to you more on this. Moving on to Anuj Bhatnagar, sir. Sir, the last question of the panel discussion. Kindly enlighten us about the application of other AI-based technology in other aspects of rural health, and what are the scopes of collaboration with public health academia?
Yeah, thanks, Dr. Nilanjana. That's a very, very that's a question which is very close to my heart, and I'm very much aware of the time that we overshot. So I'll try and keep it very short with a couple of examples. So just to give the technology and artificial intelligence as far as public health interventions are concerned, the scope and the ambit is actually the sky. There's a lot of scope that is there. For example, I'll just highlight one of the recent kind of interventions that we are doing. We know that congenital heart diseases is a problem. There is no data which is existing today as far as the rural areas of Jharkhand or Odisha are concerned. We know that in certain groups, in certain cohorts, the congenital heart diseases may be more due to consanguineous marriages, etc. But we don't have any data. Having said that, since we are reaching a large number of population in Jharkhand and Odisha, we have recently onboarded a kind of HD stet, which is just a stethoscope, which a little bit of AI built in, where it converts the heart sounds, the audible heart sounds, into a visual wave pattern. Now, we all know that kind of detecting congenital heart diseases by the frontline health workers is not an easy job. Even an experienced doctor using a stethoscope may not be in a position to really identify or diagnose or a suspected case congenital heart disease. So this is where AI has come to our help, where we've trained our frontline health workers, we've trained the ASHA workers, and given them tablets with that stethoscope, where they are able to identify visually a wave pattern which could be a suspected case of CHD. And this is how we link these children we've also partnered with the large organization where we have partnered with Sri Satya Sai Trusts for free surgeries of these children at Raipur. So this is the kind of end-to-end kind of a solution that we try to bring in through AI, where we first pick up the children, suspected children of CHD. Then they undergo advanced investigations, and finally they undergo the corrective surgeries through some organization. So this is the kind of end-to-end kind of solution that we are looking at. We are also looking at remote diagnosis of cataract in remote areas, because we have to understand, because some of the areas that exist today, we don't even have internet connections. Operation Sunshine that I was talking to you earlier about, there are times when our Operation Sunshine, so while devising that, we've had to build into a system where the data could be captured offline, and when the device finds a signal or a network, it would automatically sync with the server. So there are still areas in Jharkhand, in certain areas of the country, where finding an internet connection is also a challenge. That's the reality on grounds. That's the reality from the field. So the academia has to understand that. And I, having been a medical educator most of my life, and now having come on to the corporate sector, I tend to feel that there is a little bridge where possibly our public health scholars need to go out more into the field, need to see the reality on ground, much beyond than what the NMC lays down regarding the attachments with the PHC. They need to get out more into the field and interact more with the communities. And that is where challenges will be thrown up. That is where actual application of AIs will come in. So this is the kind of kind of a future that we are looking at, and was very very rightly and very aptly flagged by so many speakers before me. So this is the kind of thing that we are looking at as a holistic kind of a solution. Thanks.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for the panel discussion. Was really enlightening, and we would have look forward to having more of it and more collaborations in days ahead. With this, I would like Dr. Subhrajit to just sum up in short and then move on with the program as scheduled.
Thank you, ma'am. First of all, it was such an enlightening discussion. Like, if I have to summarize, like I can go on over the day, like discussing so much of inputs that we have received in such a short point of time. One aspect that I would love to highlight is that the common theme that was coming up repeatedly was that AI can help us achieve our goal of individualized care or personalized medicine, as we call. And once we achieve that, that will be, I guess, a big achievement for the medical fraternity. Another thing that that came across was that the data black hole that exist, like Nilesh sir aptly pointed out, although we think that India being such a huge country with such a huge population might be generating a lot of data, but we actually lack it. And as researchers, when we do literature review, we realize actually how short we are on data or good quality research papers. So maybe this vicious cycle can itself be broken by AI. Maybe we can involve AI to generate more good quality data. Along with that, like it was very interesting to know how AI is actually on the ground level. It's impacting public health in very remote areas, in very underserved areas, and how it can actually help us achieve our goal, our sustainable development goals. And thank you everyone for their inputs. And I'd humbly request Dr. Lima madam to take over the question answer session from here.
Good afternoon. In the interest of time, we will be addressing only 3 questions posted in the Q&A section. So the first question is, some public health professionals hesitate to use AI tools for research studies, even recommending to not use them at all. What approaches should be planned to polish their perspectives regarding the uses of the application of AI tools so that the use of AI tools in public health can be promoted? I would like to request any of the resource person to highlight some important aspects on this.
Was the question clear? No, it's on.
I'll repeat the question. Some public health professionals hesitate to use AI tools for research studies, even recommending to not use them at all. What approaches should be planned to polish their perspectives regarding the application of AI tools so that the use of AI tools in public health can be promoted?
Yes, so could I just add to that?
Sure.
Sure. Yeah, so a couple of thoughts I would like to share. This is a very, very important and a very valid question, because I have also been, in my earlier days, I've also been guilty of this, I must confess, where the artificial, and I tended to think that a human doctor can never be replaced by AI. Still continue to think that. But having said that, some of the basic principles of medical research and public health research have to be fulfilled. My request to all the young public health specialists who've joined us today and the actual practitioners of public health is, the baseline as an element of medical ethics is first do no harm. We have to ensure that your AI tool will first do no harm. That it may not do any benefit, but make sure that it will do no harm to your beneficiaries. That's number one. Number two, now issues like data privacy has become a big thing now. So while you're collecting data, collection of data is very, very important, but we have to ensure and we have to make sure that how your data is going to be used and by whom. That is again becoming a very big issue. And at Tata Steel Foundation, we are very, very particular about this, that the data that we collect, who has the access to that data, and how is that data being utilized across the world. So that is something that we need to be very, very careful. Thanks. Over to you back.
So let me just, I would like to add one thing here. So in our opinion, AI is not yet mature to get involved in any kind of direct patient care. Only thing that we can use AI in the sense is that in increasing our productivity. So suppose you want to do a literature search, you can use AI. You want to do any other thing where you want to automate things, you can use AI. But try to understand that as a standalone solution, AI is still not yet mature. We should be very, very cautious in its usage, and we should be following all the ethical guidelines. And also we should not kind of use AI to do plagiarism. I am very, very clear on that thing. The original research ideas should come from doctors. They should try to collect, they should use tools to collect data, to streamline data, to maintain quality of data. But for everything else, it's the doctor's responsibility to do an original research.
Yeah, can I come in?
Yes, sir.
Sure, sir.
Sure,
Yeah,
sir.
I think this particular question has two parts. One is using AI for public health research. The second part is delivery of public health services. So I think Dr. Nilesh has responded to the second part. The first part, actually, you know, the reservation of doctors in using AI tools for research, maybe due to the lack of awareness or even the resource constraints. They do not have, maybe they are not having the training as well. So these are new things, but I congratulate AIIMS Guwahati for starting this type of awareness campaign. So now, from now onwards, we look forward that people will become more aware and they will understand the power of AI. But having said this, you know, someone here pointed out about probably Dr. Nilesh that doctors work in silos. In such a scenario, you know, you have only small quantum of data. AI tools are not suitable to handle very small quantum of data. You really, AI tools are very, very data hungry. So actually, all public health service providers, if you form big network and you collect a huge amount of data, a mountainous volume of data, then AI can actually operate very well. But nevertheless, this is the beginning, and you look forward that good things will happen in our public health scenario. Yeah, that's it. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. The next question is very common among medical professionals. They are all afraid that AI might take over their practice. So the question was, is it possible, and what is its impact on health sector professionals? Kindly explain.
So I would volunteer to answer this question. So see, frankly speaking, AI will not replace doctors. And there are two reasons for that. But definitely a doctor using AI or any health or any appropriate health technology will definitely replace a doctor who is not using that. So that first thing we need to understand. Now, why AI or any health technology cannot replace doctors is because health is a very, very human angle to it. It involves empathy. It involves a patient who wants a doctor to listen to his problems, to have empathy with him, to empathize with his condition, and then offer a solution according to his emotional and physical needs. So because of this angle, of human touch cannot be eradicated. Please take it down and do remember that we cannot do away with that. Number one. Number two, any technology always needs a human master to that. Unless and until there's a human master, technology is of no use. Technology in itself cannot be a solution to your problem. It can just help you mitigate risk. It can help you traverse the difficulties, but it cannot be an end in itself. So I don't think AI can ever be replacing the doctors, but obviously a doctor using AI might replace a doctor not using AI.
Thank you, sir. That was a very comforting and a convincing response to the queries. The last question from the audience that we'll take is, what does the timescale look like for adoption of widespread adoption of EHR records in India?
Frankly speaking,
what does the timescale look like?
So see, we need to understand it from two angles. One is inherent interest from the doctor side, and second, the regulations. So from the regulation side, if you remember, the NMC ethical guidelines came. So the NMC ethical guidelines that came, it mandated that a doctor has to go digital within next 3 years from the date of publication of the Gazette notification. From the government side, so there is going to be a regulation via the ethical guidelines, or maybe 3 to 5 years is what the government is looking at, as per our understanding. Second is from the doctor side, interest level. Problem is that the doctors who have done their graduation maybe a decade back and who are well into using paper and pen, they don't find it very comfortable to switch to any technology. The young generation, which we see right now, it's way ahead of even us. So I don't think it will take more than, say, another 3 to 7 years to shift to EHR. That's what our understanding is.
Thank you so much, sir. We're also having some connectivity issues here. Due to the lack of time, we'll just wrap up the Q&A session. We thank all the resource persons for addressing the queries. Now I hand over this one to
Dr. Lima, you're not audible. Can you speak a bit louder?
Hello, Dr.
No, we can't
No,
hear
you are not audible yet.
The volume is very low. Okay, anyway.
Ma'am, if you can have one.
Yes, yes. I will take it over. Thank you, Dr. Lima. Yeah, for the vibrant questions, and also we got so much of vibrant answers. And especially the thing is about the voluminous data that is required for the AI is a very nice thing that has been highlighted. And with that, I would like to request Dr. Farhad Akhtar Zaman, the additional professor of Department of Community Medicine of AIIMS Guwahati, to kindly give the vote of thanks. Sir, over to you.
Thank you, Dr. Himasri. Good afternoon, everyone. After elaborate discussion on AI and being one of the organizing team member for this event, I would like to express my heartfelt thanks to all those who have made this event possible. And I would like to start by thanking Dr. Ashok Puranik sir, our Executive Director of AIIMS Guwahati, who have been always supportive of our initiative and encouraged us to strive for excellence. Thank you, sir. And I would like to extend my gratitude to our professor and HOD, Dr. Puravi Fukan, and all my colleagues, namely Dr. Himasri, Dr. Rashmi, Dr. Lima, who have been immense support to us in organizing this event. Special thanks to Dr. Nilanjana Ghosh, who conceived the very idea of this program, along with definitely with Dr. Himasri, and worked hard along with other colleagues to make this program successful. And working behind the screen, special thanks to our senior residents, Dr. Shubhrajit and Dr. Krishna Suppa. I would like to express my appreciation from the core of my heart to all our guest speakers and panelists, Professor Dr. C.M. Singh sir, Professor Utpal Bora sir, Professor Devasis Das sir, Dr. Arka Prabhu Sao, Dr. Nilesh Kapoor, Dr. Anuj Bhatnagar, Dr. Shamima, who have taken out time from their busy schedule and have agreed to share their expert view. Thank you all. How can I forget our young talent, public health, Dr. Venkatesh Karthikeyan, who moderated the panel discussion so well along with her, with other senior colleagues. Thank you, Dr. Karthikeyan. Thanks to our digital partner ClearNet for providing the online platform and other logistics. Finally, I would like to thank each and every participant. I mean, I could see more than 500 plus for your support and participating in making this event a grand success. It would not have been possible without you people participating from all over the country. In conclusion, I would like to say that this event would not have been possible without the support and hard work of each and every one of you. Thank you all so much.
Thank you, sir, so much. So, today has been a very enlightening discussion, actually. So we have discussed from all the aspects, right, from bioengineering to ethics to public health policy making to the occupational health, AI tools, everything has been discussed very elaborately in the context of AI. So with that, we have come to an end of this today's webinar. So thank you everyone for sparing your valuable time and joining us today. Thank you.
I will thank you. I will just add on to it. Our participants can log out. Our panelists can all switch on their cameras. We can have a last minute pick. Thank you, ClearNet, for your intense support. It was all so good and done. We can have a last
It was
pick.
really a
And then
privilege for us to have you all
we can
together.
all switch on our cameras and have a pick. You done?
Thank you.
Okay. Rituparna ma'am, is it done?
Thank you.
Ma'am, just a minute.
Thank you. Oh.
You keep smiling till then.
Thank you very much, sir and ma'am, for your patience. It's done.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you again for extending as a support, and looking forward to host you again very soon. Thank you very much.
Sure. Thank you. Thank you.
So we are ending here over here.